introduction.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, yeah. Lady girl, what's going on? We're here. Let me take Oh, my goodness. We are getting to the new platform, and I love it. Oh, okay. Don't let me go on. What's going on, everybody? Michael G. Davis, a.k.a. Professor X, because I'm the coach. I get in your head. Welcome once again to Mastermind Through Tough Times. Look, we're going to give it a little bit of time, so we'll let some people get in. I know we started late. We're trying a new software, and I'm loving it. I'm in love with it. We're trying this new software to see if this is what we're going to be doing our Mastermind through. But we'll get some people to kind of come in and before we really jump into the show. So we'll keep the music. Don't stop the music, but let's stop it. So, but I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I'm gonna turn it down. Jess, what's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Jess, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you, Jess.
Can you hear me now?
Let me stop the music. Jess, say something. Jess.
Hey.
I hear you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Margaret.
That's because my music was too loud. I had to stop the music.
Okay.
Yeah, look, we got somebody in studio. You can easily go participate in the discussion. Okay. So while we're waiting on people to come on, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Sydney Ely. I am a proud agent of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I've been here for at least 6 years, maybe 5 years. And anyway, I'm loving it. And so I'm a residential specialist and an accredited buyer specialist, a Texas affordable housing specialist, meaning we help people with their down payment assistance programs, and also a veteran landlord member.
Did you do luxury too?
I do luxury. I do.
So look at this one right here. All the designations. That's why
Right. That's right. Hey, that's exactly why.
That's why. Jess, how was your week? How your week was?
Oh, my week was good. All is well, got some work done, got out there in the streets a little bit, so and came right back on in.
All right. Margaret, what's up? Check in. Where's Margaret at? Where's Margaret?
Margaret is here. Margaret.
Uh-oh. Margaret smacked down.
Margaret is talking. I am talking. You can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. But look, you know what? It's because we got you in that back dungeon in the back. I get it now. Your Wi-Fi it's because you're so far away. The Wi-Fi is bad for you. See, try to relocate yourself.
So what do you suggest?
Try to come back into the office.
Okay.
We still got people coming.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to shut it down on the laptop and you use my iPad.
All right.
Because as soon as I unplug, it goes.
All right. We'll shut it down and bring it back up. Holla. Me and Jess gonna hold it down.
No,
you
and Sydney gonna hold it down.
All right, Jess, you ready to start it off?
Sure.
All right. So look, how do we know? Look, y'all bear with us. So how do we know if anybody else is like on? If we have anybody
live.
Okay. Well, Sydney got it. We got 3 people looking at us and our shenanigans. We got 5 people now, us and our shenanigans. All right. So look, Jess, today we're supposed to be talking about really buy sight unseen, right?
Right.
And then, so me and Sydney, we were talking about it. Sydney doesn't believe that virtual buyers will buy.
I don't.
Sight unseen.
I don't believe it.
So what are they going to do with the corona and the people don't want the people coming, the sellers don't want people in their houses?
I mean, they have several options. You know, do they want to wait until this thing blows over, which of course we don't suggest. You never know what the market is going to be like. Of course, you'd never. I wouldn't say that. But everyone has the choice. So again, that's the poorest choice that they can make.
Yes, it's the poorest choice.
Y'all hear that?
Poorest choice.
They can protect themselves, you know, as far as having the proper PPE over their face, over their hands, things like that. Bring sanitizers.
Yeah.
Or they could do virtual tours. Virtual tours with the agent if they're willing to go in there and virtually tour the home.
Well, that counts though. That's buying digitally though.
So okay. At least somebody's touched the home. They've been inside the home. They've smelled the smells. They've seen the cracks. You know, things like that. But that's not really just sight unseen.
So we're not saying sight unseen. We're saying virtually, meaning. Okay, so most buyers, they're emotionally engaged, right? Mm-hmm. So, and buying a house is such an emotional experience. Mm-hmm. You would think they would need to go into the house for them to say, hey, I fall in love with this house. I want this house. Mm-hmm. They would have to go into it. So what we're saying is with the COVID-19 climate, sellers are like, no, you can't come into my house. Mm-hmm. So we're saying, well, will buyers actually say, all right, I'm going to pull the trigger on it without going literally into the house? That's what we're saying. Ain't that what we're saying, Jess? Where's Jess at?
I'm hearing a little delay on my end, but absolutely, that's exactly what we're saying.
I'd say for the most part, first of all, we're their trusted realtors. So I feel like they trust us enough to help them make this major milestone of a decision. So if they trust us that much to do that, then I believe that they would trust us to virtually tour with them on the phone and buy the house. So I do take back it's impossible.
No take back.
I take it back, girl. I take it back. But I do have clients who are like, no, I must see the home in person. They don't really care about COVID. I'm just going to go see the home. But I will say some people will buy virtually.
Okay, perfect. All right, so look, let's do this. Before we really jump into it, let's lay down the ground rules for the discussion. All right. So what we do is every Tuesday at 2:30, we come together, Facebook Live through our Facebook business page, and we have a topic. And it's like, what did you say? Shop talk. That's what you said. It's like shop talk, going to the barbershop, beauty shop, and we throw a topic out there, man, and everybody jumps in. Now, that means everybody. So that means you're looking at us on Facebook Live. You are included in the discussion. We want your comments. We want your questions. We want you to be a part of it because the idea is when it's all said and done, we're walking away with actionable items, strategies, techniques that we can utilize to position our businesses to be in a good spot. So now it's about planning. That's what the discussion is all about on 2:30. I'm Michael G. Davis, aka Professor X, right? I call myself that because my realtor superpower is to telepathically get in your brain and peel back layers and coach you to the results that you want to achieve. That's why I'm Professor X. Jess, tell the people who you are.
I am. Who am I, man? I got the X-ray vision. I'm seeing right through what it is that you need when it comes to your real estate needs there, getting you in a home, whatever, all things real estate. You know, I have that X-ray vision. I want to know what it is that, you know, really you have in mind when it comes to your next home.
Absolutely. And we're still getting Margaret back lined up because we had her in the dungeon. But I'll go ahead and introduce her, Margaret Smackdown Harrison, because her superpower is negotiating. So when she comes to the table on your behalf, you're her client, she's going to put the smack down, utilizing all the best techniques to put you in the best situation to get you the results. So that's her realtor superpower. And we have our in-studio guest today, Miss Sydney Ely. Do you have a superpower?
I have a couple of superpowers. Can I have a couple?
You can have as many as you want.
Okay.
You got multiple powers.
Okay. So the resource realtor, that's what they call me. I mean, I know everything and everybody. No,
Okay. I agree. Everything and everybody.
Everybody. So any resource that you need, I got it. And then they call me the closer because I make it happen.
Oh.
I just make it happen.
Oh.
I mean,
If it opens, you close.
It's gonna be closed.
I'm with that. All right. So look, if you just signed on with us again, it's an open discussion for everybody. We're here to pull out the best techniques based off of what we researched and what we found over the week. And then we're going to utilize these strategies and techniques for everybody. So, Jess, will buyers really buy virtually? What have you found? What have you found out?
Well, in my research, what I've seen is that people will buy virtually. It's the type of buyer that really makes the difference. You do have those that are investors. I feel like they're more inclined to buy virtually, and especially those who live out of town or out of state, out of the country. They're definitely more inclined. Now, when it comes to those that are in state buying virtually, I think that there's going to be a shift to where it becomes more popular as people start doing it more, just like with anything, if things it starts to get popular and now everyone starts to do it. But I think there's some time and some space that's it's going to take some time for people to adjust to the idea of actually buying a home, one of your biggest purchases, really without seeing it. But I definitely think that it's possible with the technology that we have out here now. I do feel like people will start buying virtually.
Well, I don't think it's not that they won't see it, because they're going to see it, right? We're not saying that will they buy it without seeing a video or a virtual tour or anything like that. We're just saying, will they buy a house without physically being on the inside of the house because of the emotions, right? We know that working buyers, it's a lot of emotions. It's an emotional decision. So without being able to touch it, feel it, and do all of that with the house, is it enough for them to pull the trigger on doing it?
I think that over it's not the ideal. People are used to it being a certain way, but I think that people can adjust to it. But yeah, I do see that people would want to see and feel. That's what they're used to. So it's just it's an adjustment, I feel.
Yeah. Margaret want to get some screen time, Jess. You gonna let Margaret get some screen time while she's getting loaded?
Come on in here. Absolutely. Margaret, come on in. You can actually take this right here. Let's get you, I don't know how, it's got my earplugs, but let's see will it work with a...
Yes.
Can y'all hear me?
Intelligent.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just suggesting if we can get the buyers to touch and smell. So if somebody can come up with some smell-o-vision, we can see the texture on the walls, the carpet. That can bring in some more of the emotion back into it. If they can smell the cookies in the oven, perhaps. If they can see the kids swinging on the swings in the backyard, maybe that'll bring some more of the emotion back.
How we can do that? Margaret, how are we going to do that?
We can do it. We can do it. Remember the scratch and sniff in the magazines? Hey, this is your new house smell. And you have somebody that can finesse it, walking through like a van. They'll do it. They'll buy. We buy clothes online.
We talking about houses.
I know. We have to get into it. We have to get there. For a long time, I wouldn't buy clothes because I'm like, man, they don't know how. It ain't gonna fit right in the hip. Then I'm gonna have to take it back. But I got used to it. They had a real good return policy. If you do not like it, you have so many days to return it, unworn, of course. So if you get to the house and you see, hey, it's not, yeah.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
What's our return policy?
Margaret, that's all I was gonna say. Margaret, you're talking about reforming the whole real estate industry to be able to satisfy this new virtual world.
It's such a time as this.
Okay. here we go. Here we go. So I have a coach, right? All coaches should have a coach. All good coaches have a coach. So I have a coach, and I was talking to my coach what was it, Tuesday, sometime last week. And what I told her was, I was talking to her about our mastermind and the topic for this week. And she was like, I was like, yeah, we're trying to identify if a buyer will really buy, actually not being able to go into the house, would they really go through the entire transaction and that stuff. And she was like, yeah. I was like, what do you mean, yeah? She was like, look, you're talking to somebody that's done it 4 times. I was like, you bought a house 4 times without being on the. And she said yes. So I said, well, I guess you're the kind of person that I need to figure out who is. So you're the kind of person. So she gave me an idea of the type of profile that a person like that would do. So first what she said was an investor. So the 3 of the houses that she bought were for investment purposes. And she had her boots on the ground. She had her team in place.
Yeah.
And for her, she said, for investors, it's not an emotional purchase. So as long as the numbers make sense, you got the pro forma in place. As long as all of that stuff is in place, then they'll pull the trigger. You just got to be able to show the investor how much money they're going to be making. Understand the criteria of the investor, and if you can show that this satisfies it, they'll do it. But then she also said she bought her house that she lives in. She bought that like that as well. Now the difference though is she said it was this: when the investment property, she bought that just based off of the pictures. But with the home that she lived in, she needed a video, so she still needed a video to be able to buy it when it came to that, right?
Exactly. Just like when you buying clothes, you see them on the model. You get a model that's about your size, and you're like, yeah, oh, it's not fitting right on her. That ain't gonna fit right. I'm telling y'all, you gotta get out of the old time thinking. You can't be MySpace and you got TikTok over here. If
Margaret,
things are changing, they just change.
But Margaret, you gotta have your 14-day return policy in place for buying that. But go ahead, Sydney. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to ask you. What were the factors that were in place that we need to put in place to close someone virtually? What were the accommodations that your coach needed in order to make that purchase for her own home?
That's an excellent question. But since I had paid for that coaching,
okay,
and there was more pressing things,
can you assume?
we didn't go into that conversation. Okay. But all right, but let's talk about it, right? So if we are going to have something in place like that, then how would we logistically execute it, right? Is what you're talking about. So we got DocuSign, so we know they can sign electronically. We got Zoom, so we know we can do the face-to-face meetings, things like that. The realtor could go with the video camera on his phone, do virtual tours for him. They could do FaceTime, take the client with them as they walk throughout the different properties that they're looking at. And then once the client says yes, and at that point it's just a matter of, again, utilizing DocuSign. Everything else can kind of be done coordinated using the phone. Or like I said, video meetings to keep them engaged. So I think, the title company, they can send a document, send a mobile notary to get that stuff signed off.
They've been closing virtually too.
It's just
the title companies have been closing virtually.
It's still in person. But another thing that I would think would have to be a factor is, one, you have to understand what type of buyer it is. Is it an investor? Is it an emotional buyer? Is it somebody who's more just...
Are they MySpace type of mindset?
Buyers, right? So you have to, one, identify the type of buyer that you are, and then two, learn the lingo the buzzwords that would help them to make that purchase. So emotionally, if you're not, or if you are good at being eloquent and explaining what you're seeing, that would be an important factor. Now, if you're somebody who is dealing with an investor, you would need to definitely understand the specifications of the home and show them the specifications of the home to make sure that they're pulled in virtually. So it can be done. You just need to learn who they are and then what are they looking for in this home.
So what about, okay, so now let's talk to the realtors, right? And look, hey, people that's watching us live, man, I don't see no comments. Let's go. Let's get in the discussion with them. All right, so as we're talking to the realtors, what about building my business around offering virtual? I'm connecting with people that are that type of profile, like attracting that kind of buyer. Does it make sense for a realtor to build his business around something like that? What you think, Margaret? And we're Jess.
It could be a part of
Justin got out.
Justin's not feeling well, so I'm in here holding it down for her.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Just ain't all right. And then look, you done blasted that all on social media.
Well, I'm waiting. Well, she all right. But
oh, that's on our private chat.
Oh, that was my Go ahead, Margaret.
Okay.
I got that live.
Okay, what was I saying?
Yeah.
Oh, as far as the real, I don't think you should never put all your eggs in one basket. Your virtual game is just going to be a part of your tools. So you want to, because who knows, we're going to be coming out of this, another month, 2 months. That's something that you could always use, the virtual aspect. Now you're going to always have to go back to the basics. So if you think MySpace, you can go back to MySpace and trot along, but you always have to keep TikTok in the background.
Absolutely. So Margaret, or Sydney.
Yes.
All right. It sounds like, so Margaret, it sounds like you're saying for a agent shouldn't, are you saying that agents shouldn't utilize this as a platform or to kind of like build as a business brand?
My connection goes. Okay, they popped that. Y'all back. Okay.
That's how we know we live. This ain't pre-recorded.
It's real around here.
Okay.
All right, so Margaret, so you're saying a business couldn't, or a realtor shouldn't build their business around it. It doesn't make sense. Because you got to.
No, you shouldn't build your business around any one thing. Be competent in it.
I disagree with you.
Don't build your business. It's nice and it's all right. It's cool, but it's nice and cute for right now. But you still have your MySpace thinkers who will not purchase a home, and you'll just have to sit there and talk to them all night long and say, "Hey, look, I'm in the house. I smell a house. I see the house. The house is sound. The inspector saw the house. I'll send you what he say. I'll bring the inspector in. I'll sit him right here next to me. And y'all can go back and forth." Those are the MySpace thinkers. Now the TikTokers, you going, oh, we see it. Yeah, right. How much is it? How much money? That's good. But you can't just pigeonhole yourself around the virtual market. That's what I'm saying, as far as the realtors. So just use that as a tool. It's going to be nice and cute.
All right, so let me give an alternative thought to what you just said, right? Because the alternative thought is the people that make a killing are the early adopters, like it's the first people that get into a space before everybody else comes.
Adaptability.
Yeah, the adaptability of someone. So the other side of that conversation that you just had is, well, yeah, you are always going to have those people, but once everybody catches up, like everybody caught up to Facebook, right? Those MySpace people caught up to Facebook and caught up to Instagram, and they're going to catch up to TikTok. But the people that are making the killing were the ones that got into Facebook first, and they got into Instagram first, and they got into TikTok first. So what we're saying is that if right now society is kind of conditioning itself to go virtual with stuff, wouldn't it make sense for somebody to try to come package everything that we talked about and then position themselves as we're the agent, we're the company, we're the team that have become skilled in facilitating this virtual transaction. You buying a house, not being here.
Okay, I give that to you. I give that to you, but I'm always thinking, you know, you need to have you a ram in the bush. So them my spaces, they still buy houses, and you can bring them on to TikTok as you go, but you're gonna eat with them while you building up your TikTok.
What you think?
I think that I can understand both what you're saying. I would say, in my opinion, the adaptability is what's really going to help you find your success. You still have people who have been in real estate for 30, 40 years, right? And they're still in real estate currently. And currently, we have DocuSign, currently, we have virtual tours, things like that, right? You have the e-key, things that open the doors. Now, if they still were living in the times of when real estate was the good old days, do you think that they would be successful currently?
Right.
Right. So with evolution, you must acclimate.
Evolve.
Yeah, you must evolve to what's currently going on.
Because look at it like this, right? It's a reason the cockroach is still here.
Correct.
And the dinosaur is not.
But wait a minute, did they adapt?
No, but the dinosaurs are birds.
Yeah, they did, but they adapted to the new climate.
They don't look
the
the
new
same.
everything.
You wouldn't recognize.
When you have the moles that are underground, they're white now, right? They're devoid of pigmentation. So it's because they had to adapt to their environment, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't survive. The hotter environment or whatever. So you have to adapt to the environment in order to survive.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think that's great. So because really this whole mastermind through tough times, at the end of the day, that's what this is really about. It's about adapting to the climate, right? Because the reality, people, is that the climate has changed. And you know, I'm speaking from experience. I was one of those people that it took, you know, when the Great Recession hit, and I had just been in real estate for 2 years. 2006, I was killing it, and then 2007 happened, and the bottom fell out. I was one of those people, and it took me literally 2 years to figure out the market had shifted. So it took me 2 years to actually adjust, adapt, and then to go through my evolution. At the end of the day, I really didn't fully evolve until like 2012. So you're talking about you're 4 or 5 years in when I finally figured out what direction I needed to be in. So now we're at the forefront of it. And what I'm saying is don't be like me, right? And subscribe to the fact that the way that you did real estate in the past cannot be the same way you do it now. Things are going to change. Things are adjusting like every day, moment by moment. Things are adjusting real estate wise. Things are adjusting financially, right? Because look what I just heard. Chase Bank officially announced that they will not be lending money or mortgages unless you have a 700 credit score or 20% to put down. They will not give mortgages. So that means those, they call them those on the line home buyers, they're not going to Chase.
So can you explain?
Yeah, it'll just open the door for somebody else.
That they made to, why did they do that? Why did they shift it up to 700?
Well, some people believe it was because of capacity. Like, but you know, I feel like Chase got more money than God, so I don't think that's really a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know, forbearances, foreclosures, defaults, like that stuff costs money. So they're like, this may be now the opportunity for us to pull out of a space that we've always not really wanted to be in, but that social influence or that social, you know, pressure, that social pressure of, well, now you got to do something. Now Chase may have found their reason or their way to say, See what I'm saying? This is why we don't want to be in this market, and they're taking advantage of it. Go ahead, Margaret. You can say something.
Oh, I was just saying, well, since Chase is not doing it, it'll open the doors up for another company to go in and service people who don't have 700 scores. Because if that's the case, with what's going on, ain't nobody gonna be able to buy a house.
Do you think that they increase the credit score, because right now people are getting those forgivable loans? They're going to have the extra money to actually purchase a home, but their credit score and their proof of purchasing may not be as viable or as strong as it should be. So they're trying to shift it to people who are proven at paying their mortgages. Like you said, it costs money to foreclose, go through court, and all that other stuff. So do you think that they're knowing that people are going to be trying to go out and make these major responses?
Well, I think, because let's talk about the forgivable loan first, right? So the forgivable loan is for business owners. Not everybody can access that, and it's only forgivable if you spend the money on payroll or utility bills. Like, it has to be something for business. So in reality, technically somebody could get that money if they were a business owner and they got the money and they went and put it on a down payment or put it on a house, but it wouldn't be forgiven at that point. They would have to pay interest and pay that loan back.
Very low
It's 3%. That's the same interest that you would get for a mortgage. Right? It would be the same thing. So some people may do that, but I do believe that's what was driving. Jess, what's up, Jess? All right, so we're gonna get just a pass this week. All right, but look, so Margaret, what you promised the people, because we got about 3 more minutes left, and we're gonna shut it down. But last week you promised the people that we're gonna have actionable things for them to be able to take and utilize and execute. So did you do it?
Oh yes, I have a long list in the back, but right off the top of my head, one of them is BPOs. I have a friend who's close to the BPO market. She says they have been increasing. Also, she says the BPO people who are utilizing that, they had a complaint to the company. They do not want to do insides because sometimes people are still there. So they were scared. So if you're a person who got some strong immunity and you're not scared to go inside the house when the people are still there, you can make a killing. So if you could figure out how to do those virtually, I'm sure the BPO companies out there would pay you stacks on stacks on stacks. So BPOs, get up on your BPO game. It will sustain you through some hard times, give you some gas, pay your insurance. So BPOs, study BPOs, make that a part of your tool belt.
So okay, man, I think that's phenomenal feedback, man. So good job, Margaret. Look at you. So look, where can they go? Like, you got a friend that's in the BPO piece. Like, where can they go to get connected or like to get set up in that?
I'm glad you asked that question. Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. Don't be a MySpacer and waiting for somebody to tell you. You gotta go out there and TikTok it. Go out there and get it.
Oh, Margaret said you gotta get it. Margaret said you gotta get it for yourself. You gotta get it for you. No, my brother, you can get it on.
Yes.
For what?
What's the acronym stand for?
Oh, BPO?
Brokers. Brokers Pricing Opinion.
So that's where the agent goes out there and they do like a somewhat appraisal for the lender that's trying to decide if they're gonna value. So instead of them paying $400 or $500 to an appraiser, they'll pay $50, $60 to a realtor to go out there and run the numbers.
Right.
But you say it's some good money out there, huh, Margaret?
Yes, it is. If you get like maybe 5 of those a week, you're not sitting on the edge of your bed rocking. Like, oh Lord, I'm supposed to pay this bill. Let me go out here and do this BPO real quick. I
That's
got
300,
you.
right? That's $300 a week, huh? $300 a week, $1,200 a month.
And you're doing action items. You still practicing your real estate. You're still learning neighborhoods for when the market turns over. You got that neighborhood. You've been doing BPOs over there. So can't nobody tell you nothing about that neighborhood. Like, yeah, I know that. That's that household for this household for that. Yeah, Mr. Seller, I got you. I know this error.
I love it, Margaret. All right, you got any final words for the people before we let them go?
Wash your hands. Keep them moisturized because I know you've been washing them a lot. So wash your hands and get some moments to yourself to chill the F out.
All right, I love that. Sydney, you have any final words?
I say, right now, I would look into virtual purchasing. And if you don't know where to start, reach out to your local resource realtor or any of the realtors that are here. But yeah, Sydney@gmail.com if you have any questions, or Brooks and Davis here.
Yeah,
But
we rock it. We rock it.
we're still moving in the real estate business. It has not closed down. We are essential personnel. So,
Absolutely.
just make a smart move right now.
Perfect. And it's me, Michael G. Davis, Professor X. So my final words is that if you're a realtor, right, now is the time for you to be setting up what your business is going to be like once this thing is over with. So now you shouldn't be there binge watching Grey's Anatomy. That's what I'm doing though. But you shouldn't be binge watching shows.
Sisters.
The Clark sisters, right? You shouldn't be sitting there spending your whole day doing that stuff. You need to go to work, business as usual, but instead of you going out, you need to be thinking within. And you need to start strategizing, coming up what your plan is going to be. Doing your research, identifying the opportunities that are being facilitated because of this climate and this change in climate, because it's a transition. You need to be doing that stuff. If you're at a brokerage firm and your broker is not encouraging you to step up, to level up during this time, he's not showing you, he's not guiding you how to step up and level up during this time, then you need to schedule a company introduction so you can learn more about the options that we're offering. You need to get in the service of Professor X and let me use my realtor special powers on you. So if you are interested, it's out. When I edit the link, I'm going to put a link in there for you to go to, and you can schedule that appointment. It could be online, it could be in person, but you need to do something about it if you're not moving anywhere in your business and you're a realtor. So that's all I got. We got another one in the
Any questions? Do we have any questions?
We didn't have any comments, man. They didn't really engage this time. All right. That's because Jess left. They missed Jess. Jess was the one that usually pulls the comments out of people, but she left. All the people didn't want to comment. But that's all right. We're going to have another exciting topic for you guys next week. That you can implement, and we are going to be stronger because of this, people. You got to keep that in mind. You got to remember it. All right, Sydney, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Sydney.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to y'all later, man. Mastermind. Woo! Out.
I think we're still